Oh my God, we're live.
No
Hello,
way.
everybody. Good
Good
morning. Welcome to
morning.
the Daily Whatever Show.
I'm Dana Dubois.
I'm Lawrence Winnerman, and we're awake. We're both awake. Nobody can prove otherwise. Don't believe them if they say it.
My kids, when they were in preschool, used to sing this song. I think the preschool taught it to them, but then like they would sing it at home that went, I'm alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. Do you know the song? I'm alive,
No.
awake, alert, enthusiastic. I'm alive, awake, alert. I'm alert, awake, alive. I'm alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. So, yeah.
And if you don't give me my coffee, I will kill you.
Yeah, that's pretty much how, so there was nothing like hearing that song when you were like, so
Right.
perhaps
If
it
the
will be
kids
useful
can
to
sing
us.
it, then I can sing it too, God damn it.
That's right. Good morning, everyone joining in. I'm about to go join the chat as well. It is lovely to see all of your names coming in. It's like seeing a roster of old friends. I love it. Lawrence, can I just say how happy I am to have a day to just like talk about writing?
Mm,
Because we
yes.
are we are did I just see Amy Simon join?
Yep.
I did. Hi, Amy. I love seeing folks I know in real life coming on in. It is lovely to see you here. I hope that means you're gonna be writing on Substack. Amy is, Three Imaginary Girls
Oh,
affiliated
yay.
person,
Hello,
so
Amy. Welcome.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And
Um,
hey everybody, it is so fun to see all of our friends come in, like all these names and people that we've started to develop relationships with and friendships with. It's so nice.
it really is. So, today we're gonna be is a Writers on Writing Day. So I know I'm gonna be talking about my writing. And one of the things I think we're gonna cover in the course of this topic is like how to prioritize writing in a late stage capitalist
Mm.
crumbling democracy, right?
Well, in fact, yeah, that's my entire topic because I don't have an article or story
Yes.
to discuss right now. What I have is a lot of things in flight, none of which are done, and exactly
Yep.
the conundrum of, oh my God, the world is burning down around us. I am full time looking for a job. How do I also prioritize writing quality things to put them here
Yeah.
on Substack? So yes, for
I
sure.
And yeah, so relatable. Part of the reason that I have writing is because I have an archive of writing to bring over from Medium. So on the weeks when I don't write, which has been most of the weeks lately, I have content to leverage, as we like to say at work. All the things. So we're going to talk about that. I think we may talk a bit about if one is writing memoir, as I do, personal essays. How do you do it when you know the people you're writing about? And when is it okay and not okay? How do you decide these things? And we definitely want to hear from all of you in the chat because I suspect many of you are also writers and also asking yourselves some of these same questions.
I just point of privilege. Dr. Amber Hall just joined, and I happen to know, thanks to the miracle of Substack, that it's her birthday week. So happy birthday, Dr. Hall.
Oh, happy birthday, Dr. Hall. It's so good to have you here. And we have you coming on the show again pretty soon.
Very excited about that.
Next week, right? Um, I don't have the calendar in front of me, but I believe it is Wednesday of next week. Check me, Lors. I'm gonna go check right now because my brain this morning, not so awake yet.
Yeah. My brain is still very melty as well, even though I'm presumably 3 hours ahead of you.
Right, right. It is on hold on. Oh,
Oh,
it
that.
is here it comes. Um
Oh, Google Sheets.
yeah, no, I'm actually looking at here it is September 24th. And the title is Gen X Women Love Sex, Hormones, Lube, and Lady Bits.
Mm,
She coined that title. I can't wait. That's gonna be such a good one. Yeah, we're pretty thrilled actually. We have about programming in general. So, boy, we're slow this morning. I'm gonna take another sip of tea,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna
So
hit
I'll
it.
follow up on that thread. Dana has been absolutely crushing it in terms of getting people scheduled because we discovered that our secret weapon in getting people scheduled to the show is Dana asks them and not me. When I ask, I get a lot of maybe, when Dana asks, it always turns into magical yeses. So,
Oh, you're
um,
sweet. Not all
uh,
of them.
yet another example, chat in the world of how if you need something done, ask a mom.
Oh my gosh.
Don't ask the gay dude because I don't know somehow that no one says yes to me, but everyone says yes to Dana. So
I don't know about everyone. You're very sweet, but, I'm gonna read, who we have coming in this week. We're gonna do sort of our top of the hour business, talk about who's coming in. We're gonna talk about our pledge drive because it's
yeah,
the
we're going
last
to talk about
week.
our lady bits.
We're gonna talk about our lady bits with Dr. Hull next week.
Oh, all right,
Both
fine.
of our lady bits. But this week, I have my cheat sheet here. We've got Erica Lee Sears coming in tomorrow, an
I'm
amazing
so
visual
excited about
artist.
this one.
You
Erica
booked this
is
one.
an artist. I did book this one. Erica's an artist that I found through Substack here on Substack, and her work is just exquisite. Like I love it. Um, Her painting is luminous, and uh, I can't wait to talk to her because I just adore her work. I took my mom to breakfast yesterday and showed her Erica's paintings, and my mom, Dana knows this. My mom is an artist,
Oh yeah.
and she was raving about how much she loved the work. So really excited about that one.
Yeah, I'm really happy we're starting our week not talking about politics. We're talking about art and the things that bring us joy. And then Wednesday we'll shift back to politics. We've got Melissa Corrigan, longtime favorite here on the Daily Whatever show, and she will be live from Washington D.C. for Constitution Day.
Yeah, and
And
Melissa
I
has recently written kind of a modern take on the Federalist Papers, and it's amazing. I will, when my brain kicks in, grab a link and put it in the chat. But everyone should read it because Melissa's just so fucking smart, and she is saying some really important things that need to be said about our current universe. So
love it. Um, Thursday, we've got Kerala Goodkin coming in, and she is a writer I have loved for a long time, Medium and Substack. She's a feminist, she's a mom, she's definitely, what was I saying? Feisty feminists setting the
oh
kitchen
yeah,
on fire
firebrand.
with the words,
Yeah,
the firebrands. Yes.
yeah, yeah.
That's Kerala, and, I feel like I've gone through her divorce with her a bit, reading her wise words about it, so, we're gonna talk about what life is like after divorce, especially, now. We're kinda doing it differently than our parents did it. So she's coming on Thursday. Friday, Fucked Up Friday, Rosie the Resistor is coming in. Like, I cannot wait to see what story she's gonna bring in. If you are not following Rosie, absolutely a political firebrand woman to follow. So go follow her now. You're gonna love her on Friday. And Saturday, we have KR Byers coming back.
Yeah, that's super exciting.
You
I
booked
think
Lawrence. I don't want this talk about you not finding
all
people.
right, sure. Yeah, KR is going to be talking to us about how we can be pushing back on MAGA. And he's done a lot of thinking actually on how to do this. Like, and it's really tactical stuff, right? Like how to block people, how to report people on Twitter and in other online spaces, like really literally pushing back on people who are, issuing death threats or, trying to get people fired or doing, the heinous shit that we know MAGA is capable of doing.
Okay. Oh, I love that. I'm really looking forward to hearing his tips and pointers. Excuse me. Oh, don't mind me while I cough up a lung this morning. I have one kid getting well and another kid who got sick over the weekend. So I'm just a ticking time bomb over here. We also maybe have one other guest joining us for a quick visit during our programming. Rachel Renee just confirmed this morning that she may be able to move her Wednesday meeting. You all may have seen that I put out a call over the weekend that we're always elevating LGBTQ voices here, but in the shadow of what the legacy media is and the sort of right-wing propaganda machine is doing to trans folks, we especially want to hear from you now because your voices are not that your voices are getting elevated, you're being persecuted by the media. I said I wasn't talking about politics, and I don't plan to. I will just say that the contortions that the media is trying to do to somehow pin Charlie Kirk's murder on the trans community is appalling. And so if I put out a call that like if you want to come on our show and talk to us, we want to hear from you. We're pretty booked up this week, but we're going to try to squeeze in a quick visit on Wednesday for her to come on and talk. She's brand new to going live. I think brand new to writing. Her Substack is small but mighty, and we want to raise voices. So hopefully Rachel will be able to squeeze her in before we go live with Melissa on Wednesday. Maybe
Yeah.
she'll do our top of the hour like this.
And I think, I love that you put out that call to kind of elevate trans voices. It's so important. I think I've spoken previously about how the queer community isn't united, right? We aren't always pulling together and rowing in the same direction. And there have been very real efforts in the past to, kind of throw the tea overboard. No pun intended there. Uh,
Oh,
you know,
Lawrence. Okay, that the double meaning there is outrageous.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is outrageous, right? Like, of all of the parts of our community that we should be supporting the most, there are gay people and lesbians who would happily throw transgendered people to the wolves. If it meant like whatever. It's the quote about um, sacrificing other people's safety and security doesn't guarantee yours and never will. And if you do that, you have neither, right? Um, and so it's just so important. We've met so many good friends through the show. I've got so many trans friends, you know, IRL, that, and I just absolutely, the conversation that happened right after 2024 about like, oh, maybe we need to, like
Pull back on
pull
our
back
stuff.
and not, yeah, not argue over trans rights. Like, fuck that. Nobody left behind. Like my ethos is we can't leave anybody behind. And if we're leaving behind the most fragile, and vulnerable among us, then we're
Right.
fucking monsters. We're no better than the other side.
100%. All the snaps. I got nothing else to add to that. Perfection. So, yeah, if you or someone you know may want to come on the show, um, we really want to hear from the trans community, or just give them just a soapbox. Literally, come on, say what you need to say. Clip your recording, share it. Like as high as we can elevate your voices. We want to do that. So, um, oh, and I forgot Sunday. We're doing a special episode
Oh
on
yeah,
Sunday.
gosh,
A
no big
little
whoop.
thing. We've got a 4-hour live from 4 to 8 p.m. Eastern time
Yep.
to celebrate the end of our pledge drive on the 21st night of September. Badia!
Yeah,
So,
and we know you all are like, oh Jesus, does this ever end? Does their pledge drive ever end? It's the summer pledge drive, but is it really ever over? It is on the last day of summer.
it is
And uh, so we're very excited about it. We're so close to getting to 100 paid subscribers. We're two
we are
away, and yeah, we're gonna have a blast on Sunday. Just kind of having a party, and inviting some of the people that we have featured on the show previously, and folks that we love and adore who've really helped us out along the way. So please join us for at least sub. Oh my God, I just
you just get choked up? What just happened there?
no, well, yeah, I got choked up with a burp. Um,
We're all
anyway,
we're
join
all
us on
class
Sunday. It's
we're all
gonna be fun.
classy, baby, on the Daily 1 Hour Show.
Yeah, yeah, we're all super classy here.
I want to give you some hearts for that one, Lawrence. I haven't done smoking lady in a while, and I'm a little hoarse today, so I feel like I could make a very good smoking lady, Lawrence. feel better.
Yes. Sunny's saying, please send out notifications. We're very sorry, Sunny. We didn't schedule this week's stuff in
I'm
advance,
supposed to do that.
but we will do that, including Sunday. And so forgive us for this morning. But yes, for the rest of the week, we will send things out.
For sure. Um, oh, this is so weird. Huh, it's okay. I'm looking at my post and Substack ate the links out of it. I was gonna shift to our topic today, and I'm like, "Oh, my 3 links are not here."
Oh, no, they are. They're just at the bottom.
I don't s they that's where I put them, but I don't see it when I'm looking at it. I only see the link to the 3rd one that's popped out.
At any
Anyway,
rate, you wrote
I
some stories.
I did write some stories. Are we ready? I think we're ready to shift to that, right? We've shouted out the pledge drive. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
move in and talk about stories. It's time. Um,
So what I
I
love about this series, Dana, is it is it is your re-entry into the dating pool and the misadventures, shall we say, that ensued. I would say the hilarious misadventures, except they weren't hilarious. Some of them were pretty fraught, actually. What made you want to feature this set of stories now? Because this isn't exactly contemporaneous, right? Like you've got a
it's not.
boyfriend right now. You are, not in the dating pool as we speak. Giggle, giggle. So why did you want to feature these now at this point in time?
That's a great question, and I'm pulling them up. I feel like I'm going to share these. So the 3 stories have almost the exact same title, and they are called. I went on my. The first one is I went on my first date in over 6 years.
Hmm.
And then it's I went on my second first date in over 6 years. I went on my third first date in over 6 years. And, yeah, I've said this before that I have an archive of stories that live on Medium that I'm slowly moving over to Substack because I don't want to be, I didn't wanna flood Substack with, "Here's everything I've ever written," right when I got here.
Right,
And as, I posted a story, um, about a month or so ago, about I had a little R relationship. And I wrote that early in my Substack days because I joined Substack in April, May was when I started writing. And in August, ended a 6+ year relationship. So it was pretty close together. And that story was me saying goodbye to that relationship. And then I've written and spoken about on the show, you know, for a couple of months, I was like, woohoo, enjoying my time, just in a really good headspace, and then was like, I should just see what's out there. Put my profile up on a dating app in this really strong place of like, oh, let's just see if I can meet someone, and met someone who virtually who lived very far away, Canada, another country, because that's 200-mile radius of Seattle includes Canada, and just totally fell head over heels through my thumbs for this guy. It's sort of I have 2 stories, one that's like the incredible rush of it, and then the crash of like, "Okay, I was a fool." Um, and after posting those and we were talking about it, I was like, "Lawrence, I think I wanna kinda roll out the next stories in order," because as I was looking back, I got really fascinated with narrative arc. And each story, of course, has a narrative arc because writing memoir, there has to be a start, an action, a conclusion. The reader comes with you on a journey.
right,
These 3 stories are just very short journeys. They're just taking place over a single evening out, each of
right.
them. Together, I now can see in hindsight, having lived and had perspective from the experiences that like, oh, they form an interesting narrative arc together.
This is kind of writing memoir writing as therapy, right? Like you can now look back and see the narrative arc of your own journey and make some conclusions about that.
100%. And I mean, isn't that what a lot of memoir writers like us are doing? We're just purging. We're yeah,
Right.
it is a form of self-therapy or healing. Um, and as I posted these now a couple weeks ago because the goddamn world keeps falling apart, so we haven't had a chance to revisit them and talk about them, and I haven't posted any new ones because I'm like, I'd like to pause here in very late 2023, early 2024, talk about this moment because I realized actually I'm pausing. I I'm also not sure if the man in question is on the call let's talk about, but I don't want this to become like, "And now I'm seeing someone and we're living happily ever after." That said, it's been 2 years, and it was late August was 2 years since my last relationship ended, and to the day when I shared these stories and also when the guy I was seeing and I decided, like, we were boyfriend, girlfriend. There's this very sort of tidy narrative arc that happened in a couple of years. And I can see now how in the context of all of that, these 3 stories are, I'm trying to think of what that phase is called. Setting the scene was the, little R relationship one, right?
Yeah.
And I left it in a very stable spot. I was very ready for it to be done. There was sadness there, but it was I was not heartbroken and grief-stricken. I was in a really strong spot, and then I got totally set off balance by this virtual connection that was very, like, giddy, kind of like high school crush energy, right?
Yeah.
And, it was destabilizing, and then from that, I was like, "Okay, now I'm ready to meet people." Right now, me being me, I was like, "I'm gonna get over this, and I'm just gonna jump in and get out there and actually meet people in real life." In hindsight, like, wasn't in a very stable spot, and I can hear that unstable me in these narratives. And knowing what comes next, which we'll talk about in subsequent episodes, I guess, things did get kind of unstable, and in one case that's already live, they got a little unsafe
Yep.
until I pulled back. And you know what happened then, Lawrence? Like, then I kind of went back into my writing self. Then I got published nationally because of what I learned from the unsafe encounter
Right.
and really like took off as a writer and boost nominator on Medium in a really big way. Like it's funny how finding balance in one or moving away from one left room for the other. But I'd like to pause and talk about these 3 stories. And I would also love to hear from anyone out there who may be dating or just if you are now partnered or have stopped dating based on your dating experiences, especially if they're recent and especially if you are Gen X or close to it. Because I think all of those things color dating in ways that most women who are writing about dating online are a lot younger than I am. I like to joke that just putting my, like, 50-something woman face on the internet is an act of rebellion.
Right.
It's an act of feminism, like,
And
we're s
bravery.
yes, we are supposed to be invisible. We are not invisible. Dr. Hall's coming on next week so we can talk about lube and lady bits. Like, we are sexual beings, we are not invisible. We're kind of many of us are coming into our power sexually, romantically, and otherwise. But we tend
I
to
would
be
just like to
invisible.
point out for the chat that I resisted my Beavis and Butthead instinct to be like coming into our power.
Right. I'm
Although
glad you
apparently I didn't
resisted it.
resist it so much that I editorialized and actually did it. So yeah.
I appreciate you. Um, so I'm gonna jump in and talk about some of these stories and in the context of talking and I'm gonna pour myself some more tea because, Lawrence, I've now taken to making myself 2 cups of tea to
Yeah,
get
I regret
get
not having a second mug of coffee, or technically third. This is my second. I need a third. So I'm sipping slowly on this while you speak.
yes, get the intern to go get you some coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Yeah.
Ripley the cat.
Yes. Why don't they have thumbs? Why can't they walk as
Right.
bipeds and have thumbs
Yeah.
like
If
everybody
Ripley
else?
had opposable thumbs, she would take over the world. That's why that's why my cat doesn't have opposable thumbs.
Right. I love that. Um, so I will jump in and say, like many of us, I have wondered before if I am uh, a chronically single person who's had meaningful, short and long-term relationships as like islands within a stream of being single, or if it's the opposite. I am single in between stints of being in relationship. But what I find either way,
I mean, but also now we have to quickly duet Islands in the
I'm
Stream.
on the stream, yes.
That is what we are. Ain't no in between.
But how can we be wrong?
How can we be wrong? Right, right,
Yeah,
right. Come away
unpopular,
with me
unpopular
to
opinion.
another
Nothing.
world, and we will lie with each other.
From one lover
But
to
to another.
see, we can turn any episode into a karaoke episode. Unpopular opinion, I've never liked that song.
What?
I know people love it.
It's
I
Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton, for
I
God's sake.
know, I know, and I do love them, but I don't think that's their best work. At least it just doesn't. I can hear that it's a good duet, but it doesn't do it for me. I don't know why. Um, Anyhow, what I will say is every time I re-enter the dating stream as an island,
Pool, the dating pool, the
yeah,
very shallow pool, the dating puddle.
right, the dribs and drabs of who's out there to date. The rules change, and no one tells you that the rules change. Just especially because for me at least, I tend to meet people online. Um, every time I just sort of have to get in and figure out, like, oh, I get it. That's different. And um, the person I was with that ended 2 years ago, like that was over a 6-year relationship. So I went from 47 to 53. And hell, I went through menopause during the course of that relationship. Like things were very different personally. Things were very different out in the wilds of dating. And so these three stories are chronicling that. And um, what's interesting to me, so there's so many things interesting to me about going back and revisiting these. Um, what I found when I got online is something that happens every time, which is everyone's shooting their shot. And so the people who were approaching me virtually through these apps were not men I wanted to date.
Yes.
Um, and
How many grandpas reached out to you?
a lot of grandpas and a lot of very young men with MILF complexes. That was new this go around.
Right. Kat, I
20
would like you to know that I wholeheartedly advocated for Dana to get some younger loving, you know. I was like, he wants to worship a MILF's body, let him, you know. He's 25, he can't control his erections, and he wants to worship a MILF body, fucking go for it.
And we had a very interesting conversation about how for me it feels really fetishizing and not appealing. That I'm like, "Oh, this is yet another excuse for men to not seek relationship." They because it to me feels like fetishizing and
You
like
know,
a little sad. And for you it's different as a gay man.
it's true. I'm having a really hard time though, imagining any kind of male sexual attention as fetishization or objectification, Dana. I just don't know that that
That doesn't
ever
exist though.
actually happens in real
Yeah.
life.
Just rarely, Lawrence.
Maybe every once in a while, but
Mhm.
yeah,
Right.
uh,
It's
yes,
mostly us women preying on the men.
right, right. In case anyone can't tell, I'm obviously being sarcastic. Male sexual desire seems to be nothing but objectification and fetishization. So, you know,
Exactly. And so in this phase of like, uh, early stage of re-entering the dating world, I was like, maybe I just need to be a bit more bold and go after what I want. If I like a guy, I'm just going to need to pursue, which um, we could probably have multiple episodes. It wouldn't be that interesting for you, Lawrence, but about the dynamics in heterosexual dating and the men who say they want a strong, assertive woman, but really don't. They want
I mean, it
they
would be
want it in one
fascinating
night.
for me. All of
Yeah.
my best friends are strong beautiful, smart women, and and the dynamics aren't those dynamics exist in gay relationships too.
Yeah.
If you want to have an episode about that, we could have an episode about that. I could
Let's have
talk
an
at length.
episode about that maybe. I have not been keeping up with the chat, I just realized, so hopefully Lawrence is doing a better job than I am. Um, so here is me, uh, 2 years almost 2 years ago me, and I was like, "Okay, well," date number 1 was with someone who, I was friends with on Facebook, but had never met in real life. There was this very handsome guy, like, very outrageously good-looking guy who, was, like, kind of flirty on, like, not DMing me, but just, would like my posts and, had a daughter younger than mine, but, like, was also a dad and professional, in kind of a creative profession, and I was like, age appropriate, and I was like, okay." I saw that one night his little, like, status bubble on Instagram said something about going dancing, and I was just like, God, I haven't got so I was like, "I'm just gonna shoot my shot," right? Messaged him something like, "I haven't been dancing in forever," and he was like, "Let's do it." And it's written in the story here, I can share the link. Have you shared this link, Lawrence?
Uh, I
Um,
think I did. I did. Sure.
okay.
Yes, I shared that one earlier, and then I shared the falling in love through my thumbs link as well.
Okay, yeah, that's the prequel. So we'll start with date 1. Um, uh, we turns out neither of us knew where to go dancing in December after COVID, and so we started talking about bourbon, and I was like, "Let's go get a bourbon." So I was like, "Oh, I think this is a date." Like, it wasn't like the traditional, like, "Hey, I like you, let's go meet in person." It may have just been a friend hangout, but I was like, "No, this feels like a date. We're gonna go or, meet for drinks." So I put on a cute dress and went to really pretty bar here in Seattle. You could probably guess which one it is, Lawrence. Sat upstairs, um, next to this very, very handsome man and had a couple drinks and chatted, and I was like, "I don't he's so good looking, he doesn't have to try." And I was like, I weirdly like, it was like looking at, a beautiful work of art in a museum more than a
Hmm.
person. When you sit near someone and there's sort of a you should feel a reciprocal thing, I was like, "I'm not I'm not feeling that." Um, what's not in the story is, because I wrote this quite quickly after it happened. This one ends with me musing, like, "Was this a date?" It was like he was too hot, and it ends with me saying, "Here's hoping my second first date or first second date will be far more compelling a tale to tell." Um, we stayed in touch. There was a lot of, like, liking of posts and DMs, and a couple of lazy, like, "Hey, I just ate an edible. You wanna come over and watch a movie with me? You can."
Right.
Uh, he was
Right.
very, very poly. I found being what's that term I hate?
Solo poly.
Right, but there's another name for it that sounds a little angrier. It's I'll think of it in a minute, but
Misogynistic?
no, 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 he wasn't misogynistic. I mean, not overtly to me anyways, but, what do you call it when you're a, like, radical poly person? It's like a that's what the name sounds like. It's we'll just say solo poly for now, but yeah, he was just like, "This works best for me," and, part of me was like, "You're single, you're dating, you could have some fun," and I was like, no. Toss that fish back into the sea." Um, and what's so funny about this one is I wrote the story quite quickly. I put it on social media, but, like, this gets back to that, like, who do you have the right to tell whose story can you tell? And I'm like, "Oh, he's not identifiable in this story," but, like, I'm like, "Well, I have no idea if he's ever read this story." In fact, over the weekend, I think I saw that he joined Substack. Total coincidence, but you know how, like,
He's on the call right now.
it could be if he is. Hey, girl, hey.
Hey, girl,
Um,
hey.
you would have liked him, Lawrence.
I mean, I do have a thing for pretty. Like I'm weak. I'm but a man. I'm attracted to things pretty.
The
Uh
hands, Lawrence, those hands, you would have
yeah,
been
oh yeah.
yeah, you would have liked him. Um, so this date ends, and then the next one is someone who was on, an app, and I was like wasn't really coming forward a ton, sort of was responding, but not a ton, and I was like, "I am a strong, independent woman, and I'm gonna just ask him out." So I did. Like, "Hey, let's meet for a drink," and he said, "Okay, sure." And we met at a a bar that's also like a dog park. So, there's like a ton of astroturf and people bring their dogs and get beer, and their dogs can play while they drink. And so he had a dog, and so I was like, "Why don't we bring our dogs?" Just kinda cute for a first date. He was a very nice man, and, it was
Ooh,
quite
damning with faint praise. He was a very nice man.
no, he was.
Wow.
And he
Um,
was cute enough, like, he wasn't like the
oh,
first
cute enough.
yeah,
Ouch.
no. Yeah, I know, you're falling over yourself. He wasn't, like, hot like the first guy was by any stretch, but, like, cute enough to be like if he'd had, like, this amazing intellect or personality, would have made him quite attractive. Um, and it was like it was I would have gone out with him again to give it a chance sort of a thing, but kind of like I had to push to go out that sometimes I feel like when you're meeting people online, there's this like, "Yeah, we could make this happen." But one of the 2 people at least has to be like, "No, we have to make this happen," or it's just never gonna happen because 2, like, doesn't equal anything interesting, and what I thought was a really interesting narrative device for the story that was true in real life was it was quite cold and misty that night. It was a beer only kind of place, and I don't like beer, so, I think
So
I had
everything was off.
everything was off. My dog was, like, freaked out, a as, happens because Kira's a little weirdo. But it was nice, and there was this sort of like, "We should hang out again." And then I think, like, maybe we wrote a time or 2. I think actually I wrote first again of, like, "It was really nice hanging out." It's long enough ago that I don't remember. I don't think we ever switched phone numbers. I don't think we ever even got out of the app, and just didn't hear from like, I waited a week or 2 to write this because I was like, "Well, I don't wanna be a dick and write it, like, the next day. I need to see what happens." But, here, let me grab the story of the second first date, and I'll put it in the chat here, but it was just this, like, "Oh, okay." And in my head, I was like, the first guy was too hot and the second guy was too cold. It felt very Goldilocks
Mhm.
coming up to it. Um, and then the third first date was me, there was a year-long crush, my crush, that I who I finally went out with. And so it felt, like, epic as it was happening. It was a couple weeks after this one. Um, this is someone else who I know. I met at a gala,
Right.
with I went to with my friend Sunny, and
He's
we
here in
got
the chat too.
yeah, probably. Hey, um, seriously, one of the prettiest humans I've ever seen in real life. Like we went to this gala and didn't we weren't with a specific group of or table, so we got put at like the misfits table where they pieced together people who didn't have a full table. But it was the most fun group of people, and one of them was this
The
guy
misfits
who's
table is always the best table at any event. At
right?
weddings, yeah.
Oh, definitely at weddings, because then it's like the outcast table kind of, right?
Right.
That kinda had this flavor, and, everybody exchanged phone numbers at the end. We were all like, "Ah," and, so this guy was a writer, and, because we all had each other's information, I messaged him and was like, "What was the name of your book?" And bought it because I was all crushed up. This was when I was not single, so I was just like, "Oh, I wanna read this guy's book because it's pretty." And so, got the book, took a photo of myself with the book and texted him like, "Look, I got it." Sort of gave all of the, like,
Right.
giving you
I'm
all we thought.
interested. Right. Yeah.
And he wrote back a very polite,
Right.
but
Thank
it
you
was
for
it
your book purchase.
was friendlier. It was friendlier than that. Like, oh,
Right.
that's so great.
Kindly leave me a review on
Goodreads. Yeah.
right, Goodreads.
Goodreads
Yes.
and Amazon. And so I, put it down, whatever. But then right around that same time, Sunny, same friend, was like, look who I just saw on Bumble. And it was him. And so I finished the book. This was my dating strategy was I'm gonna need to do some reading, which I did. And then messaged him and was like, "Oh, it took 8 months, however long it had been, but I finally finished your book. And boy, I've got some questions. Your characters were fascinating, right? They
I'm
were
not
okay.
sure it took me 8 months to read your book is maybe the compliment you thought that it was.
For me, it is with the way pace of my
I
history.
found your book excruciating. It took me 8 months to get through it. I've got some questions about your characters, as in, why are they so bad?
I've got game, Lawrence. I've got game. Um, no, it was me being friendly. Like, oh my gosh, life's been crazy, but I finally finished your book. I loved it. I definitely, I've got some questions about the main character and he was like, "We should get together and talk about it." And I was like, Sure, I would love to." And he was like, "Yeah, let's go get dinner and a drink and talk about it." So here's me like, like, "Is this a date? I think it's a date. I mean, we're talking about a book, but I think it is." And so at this point, I'm like, "I'm great. I'm going on a date." Looking back with wisdom and narrative arc and all of that, I'm like, I'm a destabilized mess
Right.
at this
Yeah.
point.
And when he showed up with his girlfriend, ladies and gentlemen,
He did not show up with his girlfriend, but Lawrence, I'm trying to decide if I should say this. I will. Like, in the background that the end of our relationship didn't end cleanly. I have never written about, nor will I probably ever write about the magnitude of what happened. Yeah, it's the story of a lifetime.
uh, it,
Maybe I'll
it is
maybe I'll
a
write it.
tragedy that you can't write about it because, chat, believe me, holy fuck, it's a story worth reading. But yeah, things like
Yeah,
restraining orders prevent.
yes. I maybe like Annie's Nin and like release it posthumously. Um, yes, as Lawrence just said, so the restraining order went into effect right about the time when this date was. So we'll just say, here's me, like, this is, no, but I'm ready. I'm gonna,
I'm totally ready. Yeah, no, like, yeah, my
yeah,
personal life is a clown car at the moment, but sure, I'm ready to date.
yes. So I show up for this date at a place I picked because Uh, we live kind of far apart. He came closer to me, and I was like, "This is a date, right? He's driving all the way to me. We're going to get dinner and drinks." It's January, so it's very cold, and we end up being almost alone in this restaurant, and we talked for hours. Like, it was one of those, by the end that they were like, "The restaurant's been closed for 45 minutes,"
Oh,
like getting kicked out. But it was a Cajun place, and, um we ordered food, we ordered drinks. I drank my dinner, Lawrence. I was so nervous that food was like, I guess I'm, you know, but like the bourbon went down very well. So I think like also
it does, often does.
it often does. In retrospect, I'm also like, I was probably kind of hammered without realizing it because I think I think maybe 2, maybe 3 drinks, but no food, which for me is way too much.
Yeah.
And what I had ordered, I say this in the story, I went back and reread it, of course, when I shared it, that I ordered the etouffee and I said something like, I like the way it sounds. I'll have the etouffee because that's fun to say. And I'm like, all the game in the world here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
That makes me
I
sound
still
smart.
can't hear the word etouffee and not think of Jamie.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Wow, Jamie Zomebrecker. If you're out there listening, come find us.
Right.
Long
Yeah.
story,
Seriously.
guys, for another day.
Seriously,
High school
Jamie, if
trip,
you're out there listening, please come find.
right? Right?
Although I
Uh,
imagine he maybe didn't age well, but oh God, he was so
yeah.
pretty.
Why was he hanging out with high school kids, Lawrence?
I mean, I know why I
I know why we were hanging out with him.
yeah,
Total side story for another day, ladies and gentlemen, but
right. I don't want to quote an assassin's bullet, but notice his bulges.
Lawrence, Lawrence. Back when you were still a
Yeah, how
straight
could you
high
not notice that bulge?
yeah. He was a big guy, and a pretty guy. I have no photos of him. I don't somewhere maybe in, like I'm sure we took pictures back in the day. Uh, uh, so oh, wait, I see a question here. Dana, did you pay your tab? I always do. No, he even picked up the tab on the state. He was just like, I had every intent to, but he was like, "Oh, I got it, my treat." And so I'm like, "Okay, this is a date." He drove here, we had dinner and drinks. Oh, so I get my bowl of etouffee in front of me, and I look down, and I'm like, "This is a bowl of porridge." Etouffee is just like grits, right? It's this, like, gooey I did eat it later when I was by myself, and it was delicious, but I was like, "Oh god, I am Goldilocks, and I'm in front of a bowl of porridge, but is this guy just right?" Like, again, I was like, "I'm all the way back here because I'm so nervous." Talking and talking, we're talking about his book, we're talking about writing, we're
That's so
talking
great. You just talked about Goldilocks and porridge, and somebody named Metaphor just joined the chat.
Wow.
That
Okay,
is
hi, metaphor.
perfect. Welcome, Metaphor. You have no idea how aptly timed your joining was.
Right? And so, the night ends and I'm all like, "Oh my gosh, am I gonna see him again? Are we gonna kiss goodnight? What's gonna happen?" I'm trying to stay cool and walks me to my car, gives me a hug and is like, "This is fun. We should do it again," and walks off. And I get in my car. I live very close. I probably shouldn't have even driven, but I was very close to home, like just a local. And I get home and I'm like, "Why does nobody like me and nobody wants to kiss me?" That's my mental state, right? I'm gonna eat my etouffee on the couch cold as but, like, texted me as soon as he got home and was like, "We should do this again." And I was like, "Okay, maybe he does like me." But Lawrence, this is something that I have very much found in online dating. Like, we would be mid-text about making plans, like, we'd picked a concert. "Oh, I like that band. I like that band. We should go see that show. We should totally go see that show. Should I pick up tickets?" And just left unread.
Right.
And it happened, like, 2 or 3 times that I
Yes,
was
I
like
remember.
yes, you remember that I was like, Why does this keep happening?" And I still don't really know. And I think I finally messaged him and was like, in case it's not clear, like, I don't know a lot of other writers. Like, I'd love to stay in touch and talk about writing, but also, like, I'm interested in dating you. So, this was me, like, 3 times in a row being, like, uncomfortably the one in pursuit, and it never came to fruition. I don't think he never responded to that text either.
Right.
And so sort of thus concluded this era of, like, me applying to my reach schools and being the moral now 2 years ago is or 2 years later is, um, at least for 2 of the 3 of them, men who are that pretty don't have to try hard, and it's not personal.
Right.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
a little personal, but it's just they are almost indifferent because they have endless options,
Yeah.
and I don't
I love
wanna
that metaphor because, like the super pretty guy was Harvard, right? Like, he's like, "Oh yeah, no. I mean, of course you want to sleep with me, but like everybody does. So, I don't have to try it all here." And you
right.
were like, "You know what? This isn't yeah, no. Like Harvard is a nice dream, but no thanks."
Right, I'm not, like, right, I wanna go to an institution that's gonna value and grow me.
Right.
Um, I That's actually a pretty good metaphor. So, um, yeah, that era, these 3 stories in aggregate,
Oh,
the
okay, wait. I got it. Amy Simon just said, "In my experience, the really, really pretty ones are also terrible in bed." Yes, girl. Oh my God. The really
real
pretty ones often have no fucking idea how to do it, how to do
because they don't
anything.
have to.
Right, because they don't have to. Yeah,
Okay.
so true.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe yeah, actually I mean, we'll talk in a second about what happened after this one, but yeah, the pretty ones here actually, I wanna share the link to the 3rd story because I actually think this is the best one. Medium didn't boost it, the jerks. But I think at that point, they were kind of rolling back on anything having to do with dating. Um, I went on my 3rd first date. There it is. Um, that's so maybe here we go. They barely know where anything is, Carrie, except for their hair product.
Right, their hair, except for their yeah.
Okay. Um, so yeah, there's this interesting aggregate story of I don't want the takeaway to be like, so then I never pursued another man because pursuing is a waste of time. Um, I don't think that that's true. I think any man worth having for someone like me is someone who's going to be very comfortable with the woman who knows what she wants and can be assertive and would be like, "Oh, thank you for finally getting my attention," and would come to meet me. It's that you can only push so hard
Yeah.
because I don't want like I certainly don't want to be Miss, "Oh, did you just have an edible and you want me to come Netflix and chill with you?" No, thanks. You're gonna have to try a little harder than that. Um, the takeaway certainly wasn't, and then I'm gonna compromise and only, take what's given me, because I'm not able to do that. At the time, in terms of the narrative arc, was a little further destabilizing. Now it is a very stabilizing, like, "Oh, Dana, you tried. You really tried to put yourself out there, but, like, you can only push so hard." Hmm. They were fun dates, like, good practice, I guess. Don't drink so much, don't be so nervous, although that can still happen from time to time. But the the narrative arc of this and what came next was, like, an increased hunger and an increased destabilization of, like, man, all that wasted bourbon and no kiss. It was in fact, like, the stories that I'm writing in that era, there's one that I wrote that was called In Praise of Drinking, I think, that was just like, I love having a couple of good bourbons. Um, that's big fun for me. Another one that was called, Meet My New Boyfriend, Will Butrin. We've dated before,
Right.
like, as evidence of the instability that was rising in my life. Um, yeah, and the next story that was, let's see, literally, I think happened a couple weeks after the date was, I gave my consent, he gave me bruises. So then there's, like, that's the rock bottom story of, like,
Yeah.
oh, so then a really attractive, like, amazing seeming guy approaches me in real life at a karaoke bar, seems too good to be true, and as it turns out, was.
Too good to be true. Yes.
And I didn't see it because I was so destabilized, right? I was so, at that point, like, wow, someone who seems like the kind of man I would wanna be with is paying me attention without me paying enough attention to the, like, but isn't really doing quite enough,
Yeah.
right? Because of that lack of balance. That's where that narrative arc went next, which I don't know, we'll have to think about this next Writers on Writing session, and maybe this story continues because more
More installments.
there
Yes.
are more installments, and some of them I've already posted to Substack, but I think could come back and revisit. And maybe at some point I'll write the full narrative arc, not just talk about of like, wow, what was that time period
Yeah. Sunny was
like?
asking for your book. They want a nonfiction memoir book from you. So yeah, I think you should do it. In our remaining 5 minutes, should we talk about my writer's block?
Yes, let's talk about our writer's block. Although I do see Amy is saying, I've been in a relationship for 19 years. kudos to I mean, I know that, Amy, because I know you and your guy seems awesome. But I was dating in my 30s after a divorce for the first time in 10 years, and I have a lot of stories too. I mean, I'm sure we all do, but when I read Dana's, I'm all like, "Yep, me too." Yes, the themes yeah, the themes right now are like men are very poly out here, very ethically non-monogamous. What is it called? Relationship anarchist. That's what he said he was. Remember when I was like the angrier term?
Oh, right, right. Oh,
I'm
that's
a
funny.
relationship anarchist.
Damon actually said that, and I thought he was
Oh, I missed it.
joking.
Oh, sorry, I
Uh,
missed it, Damon.
yeah, yeah.
No.
Damon said dating anarchist. Yeah, that I okay. I mean, I just learned something. I didn't know that people actually use the term relationship
Yeah.
anarchist to describe um, a kind of poly.
Oh, yeah, that's what it's called out here now. And I don't think we are gonna talk about writer's block today, Lawrence, because I think we're running out of time. Next Writers on Writing session, you get the floor with your whatever story is new.
Well,
But,
and perhaps I'll have several because I've got several things that are mid-flight, so I might
ooh,
actually have two or three things published
I
by
love
next
it.
week.
And what I will say about relationship anarchy, to kind of finish this off, is I have no problem with ethical non-monogamy and polyamory, if those are things that work for you and are your actual relationship model. But I will say in typical fashion, I'm just gonna be a feminist killjoy and say straight men will take language from the poly community and repurpose it to, justify their bad behavior.
Yeah,
And that's what a lot of it feels like to me, not an honest like, being truly poly requires a level of communication skills and respect that I think is hard to meet. It's a high bar. Relationship anarchy just lets you be like, "Girl, I'm just on my own, and Imma do whatever I wanna do."
Amy says my friend Michelle and I called one of those guys a vagina terrorist. Oh my god.
Amy, I'm so glad you're here. Please keep coming back to the show, and please write. And we're just gonna bring you on as a guest.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Amy, you're coming on as a guest. Dana's going to
Anyone who
reach
says
out
the va
after this and get you scheduled.
if we have an episode called "The Vagina Terrorists," everybody's gonna show up for that.
Oh my
We're just
God.
gonna
Yeah. You know what? That'll be one of the one I can stand down for that. Or we'll figure, we'll do
no, you gotta get
Restream
this
or
right.
Riverside or something. Yeah. I'll be the gay BFF who's indignant on your behalf.
Right? So, yeah, it's kinda lonely out here. It can be very lonely in, Gen X, like, romantic optimist and devout monogamist land, um, which I have a story I'm working on about that is moving very slowly, speaking of writer's block, but, yeah, it's when, like, give, like, emotionally bankrupt, horny, depressed, sad sack but attractive, Gen X men an excuse to be like, "It's because I'm a relationship anarchist.
Right.
It's my it's my
I'm solo
orientation."
poly. No, you're just playing the field. Like in the
Right, or
olden
just fucking
days, we
around,
called that playing the field.
right? Or just fucking around, just say it,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Like, don't put some, like, "This is my relationship category, it's my
Right.
orientation." Like,
I
that's
do
not an
think it is
orientation.
important to note that there are people out there who do
Yeah,
practice ethical
of course they do.
polyamory, and we are not bagging on those people at
No,
all. It's just the
your language
dudes
is
that
being
it's I
co-opted.
mean, yeah.
I'm sure some women do it too, but I don't see
I know.
them.
I was thinking. I was like, I mean, I guess maybe women do it, but neither of us would know that because neither of us has dated women. I suppose if we've got any, bisexual women or lesbians in the chat, like let us know. I'm sure that's a thing that crosses all boundaries.
Yes. Although I'm gonna say probably worse behavior with with the men. Sorry, Ben, you can call me names now. You're gonna do it anyways.
Right.
Feminist killjoy here. I do really want a feminist killjoy t-shirt, Lawrence. I know they exist on the internet, but I feel like Gen XE could have a feminist killjoy t-shirt, on alpaca lunch.
I mean, I'll make it right now.
Yeah.
What color do you want it to be? What do you want the letters to look like? Tell
Right,
me.
let me think about that, let me think about that. It is the top of the
I'm
hour,
imagining
though.
feminist killjoy in like big swoopy letters with lots of ligatures and stuff, right? Like just
Right. It has to have, like, little, like Snow White-esque birds and chipmunks and little hearts and sparkles.
perfect. I'm on it.
Okay. Pink and burgundy, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Done.
something very sweet looking. Okay, I love it. Thank you all for joining us. This has been super fun. Uh, please come back tomorrow, for Erica. I'm gonna mess up her name if I
Erica Lee Sears,
Erica Lee Sears,
our
thank you.
first visual artist on the show. So
Mhm.
it's going to be a challenge. We're going to like share her Instagram links and the links to her Substack and her store, so that people can peruse her images as we're talking to her. But yeah, super excited about that.
If only we could just screen share, Lawrence.
Right, if only.
Get on that Substack.
Right, or we
Alright.
just suck it up and actually buy Restream or Riverside FM or something.
I Yeah, I guess when it's just the 2 of us, we could do that, but as we know, it doesn't merge the chats with when we have guests, which is
Yep.
every other day this week, so come on, Substack, get on it. Screen share and 4 to 5 people on it live, and save the chats.
Right. Oh God, please save the chat. All right, everybody. Well, that's our show for today. Thank you for joining us, Dana. Thank you for sharing your experiences and your
Yes.
beautiful writing.
Yep.
Everyone, go read her trilogy of articles that we just discussed. And yeah, one of these days I'll publish something new and we can talk about that.
Yes, same girl, same. We're gonna do this. Love you all. Mean it.
Love you, mean it.
Bye.
Bye. Mwah. Mwah.